Hey everyone, I'm Rob Brinded here. I'm going to be doing a video on just something that I found interesting to do with trying to explain to people about the mind-body connection and how it's difficult. I just wanted to share an experience I had yesterday, and I'm not saying that I'm not part of the issue, so to speak, and that I could have maybe have explained it better. But it's just, I wanted to explain about a Twitter conversation I had with someone. I follow people with different beliefs and ideas than what I have, so that I don't have like an echo chamber on social media. So I'm getting information and beliefs that are contrary to mine, so that I'm not in denial and I can look at different information. I think that's important. And so there's this guy who's a very logical and engineer type, and he's big into vaccinations and everything. And so I saw a post he did about Alzheimer's and that he was really worried about it. That's what he posts a lot about, because his father had it. So I commented, I'm trying to engage more on Twitter and try and get out there a little bit more, and I'm just not very good at that. I like to post my comments, but I don't get into conversations with people. So that's why I was thinking, okay, I'm going to try and do that today. I posted underneath, I said something like metformin. Have you researched metformin? Because I know that there's some good research out there on metformin and Alzheimer's and dementia. And he wrote back something along the lines of, I research all the time, and I'm a member of this and this. And it was a little bit, he'd taken it like, who do you think you are? And I hadn't meant it like that, but that's social media for you. But he could have said, oh yeah, I've had a look at that, thanks. But he showed me, oh, look at how scientific I am. And I was like, oh, that's a bit odd. And then I thought, he's a real scientist, but I'm gonna put my what I think is truth out there and be ready to have it shot down. And this is another part of what I'm trying to do more of, is put my ideas across even when I think someone might not agree with it. And so that's kind of maybe brave as well, because it's not easy, and not easy for me. So I posted underneath something along the lines of, in my experience, it's not scientific, but my experience of working with a lot of people in the mind is that very intelligent people who cannot resolve things because you can't with your mind, because it can be coming from anywhere. If you think you can just resolve all your emotions with your mind, you're kidding yourself. And so I said, I didn't say that. I said, I find that people who are very intelligent, who can't resolve things themselves, they rely on forgetting for their overthinking and suppression for the emotions to be able to get by, to cope. And then he wrote back, he said, I don't overthink, I'm an engineer, I don't overthink, whatever that is, which was a very, I took that as a little bit like, well, obviously you know what overthinking is, when you think overly. And in my 25 years of working with all sorts of clients, I've worked with a lot of engineers, scientists, physicists, psychologists, doctors, scientists, and they all overthink. And I spoke to an engineer, super geeky engineer last night, and he goes, yeah, of course engineers overthink. They're always thinking. It's just the way their minds work. And so then I just thought, well, there's something he's come across a bit triggered, but I'm just going to leave it. I mean, there's no point. You're not going to change someone's beliefs on Twitter, or I doubt it. And also, there's just no way he's going to, how am I going to explain that he's weak to overthinking and that his mind might be having an effect on Alzheimer's and dementia? To think it doesn't is, for me, is crazy. Like, all these scientists are looking for the DNA stuff, or, insulin. Yeah, they have roles. The physical body has a role on your mind, for sure. The food you eat, You know, there's research about lectins and Alzheimer's. It travels up the vagus nerve. Sure, but to think that the way you use your mind doesn't affect your mind is nuts for me. I mean, that's where really we should be looking at. But for, like I said, most people, it's like ludicrous and just poo-poos it. So I came away on thinking, well, I'm just going to put my stuff out there. Anyone who's ready to listen will hear it. But I'm not going to try and, you know, go to people who are so, you know, maybe very mentally intelligent, but are just so behind in understanding how we interact with this world and this internal environment, and how to work with it like it's a computer, and how to resolve things instantly is, you know, it's few understand, to use a meme from crypto Twitter. They always saying few understand, but it's really few understand, and that's okay. But I'm going to go back to just putting my stuff out there, and I always attract the people who are ready to hear. So for sure, I probably can get better at explaining it, and I'm trying to, and doing these videos is another way I'm practicing, trying to explain the work that I'm doing. And as we know, bit by bit, we get better at things by the more we practice, you know, growth mindset, not fixed. So yeah, just explaining how difficult it is to, you know, get your brand out and understanding out when something's so revolutionary. But you just got to keep going, and the right people will be attracted and hear when they're ready. But if someone's not ready to hear, shuts off. It brings me back to, I remember I've just been shooting part of my new course, Meditation OS, and I was talking about how I discovered this, that everything has a binary energy underpinning it. And I was working with Chelsea Football Club, and I had a world-class player that I was analysing. I had the medical team around me, and he was standing on two scales, excuse me, and we were measuring where his weight shift was. So he was, when he stood on the scales, he was 8 kilos heavier on one leg, and the chiropractor saw that and said, oh, it must be his jaw. The podiatrist saw that, and she thought, oh, it must be short leg, possible. And then the doctor saw that and had his medication. That's a joke, but he was very good at what he did. But then when I came in and changed the player by getting him to think about a positive thought and a negative, so he thought about the positive thought and he perfectly balanced out on the scales. He was so perfectly balanced. There's no way I could have got that with my skill set at the time. And then when I got him to think about a negative, sad thought, he went back 9 kilos heavier. At that moment, I knew that there was something there that was the most important discovery of my life, but I didn't know how to access it. But I remember just thinking, the other people around me, when I said, did you see that? Oh my God, I got him to change it. Their eyes almost like went, their brain just went, and they just walked out. Like it was way too advanced for them. But it'd taken me years to get to that point where I could possibly think that his thoughts affected his body. But that was 25 years ago now, 25 years ago. So it's taken me that long to get to this point. So imagine me going on Twitter and then dropping a bombshell like, oh, maybe your mind's got something to do with Alzheimer's. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's just foreign language to most people. Anyway, just wanted to share my thoughts on that. If you're interested in knowing more about my course, I put the link below. It's a brilliant course. Lots of students on there getting amazing results, transforming not only themselves, but some are actually starting to work professionally and working with other people. Anywhere in the world you can work with anyone, because you can do it through WhatsApp or Skype or Zoom. So if you're interested in learning more about what I do, I teach it, a hybrid course, an 8-week course where at the end of it you can use this method yourself and work on yourself or anyone else in any aspect of your life. So it's high performance, really. It's a high performance course. But also I'm there twice a week. I do webinars where people get to interact with me, talk with me, you know, live, ask me questions about anything that they have questions about. And so I think that's the best way to learn this course and learn how to completely work with your own computer and transform your life. So if you're interested in that, I put the link in the description. Any questions, just comment below or DM me. Okay, thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.